And it seems like, blockchain gaming is a natural fit for this whole metaverse idea. I mean, you already have these digital assets, virtual economies, and communities of players who are already used to interacting in these online worlds.
Exactly. And GoTapper is already exploring ways to integrate their game into this evolving metaverse landscape. Imagine, being able to take your GoTapper assets, your goats, your items, your achievements, and take them into this virtual world where you can socialize with other players, show off your collection. You could even set up like a virtual shop to trade items.
Okay, yeah, that's starting to sound pretty compelling. It's kind of blurring the lines between gaming, social interaction, and even like commerce. So, what are some of the potential benefits that players could experience in this kind of metaverse scenario?
Well, for one, it would create a much richer and more immersive experience. You're no longer confined to the limitations of just one game.
Mhm.
You can take your assets and your identity into this wider world with way more possibilities for interaction and exploration.
It also sounds like it could open up a lot of new opportunities for players to, connect with each other and build communities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it could create new avenues for players to, earn and trade. Imagine being able to take your goat tapper skills and knowledge and, go into the metaverse and offer services like training or coaching or even item crafting.
It's almost like you could create a whole new virtual economy where players can actually leverage their gaming expertise in a meaningful way.
Right.
But, with all of these possibilities, there have to be some challenges as well.
Of course. One of the biggest challenges, I think, is going to be ensuring accessibility. The metaverse needs to be welcoming and inclusive to players from all backgrounds and skill levels. We don't want to create this digital divide where only those with the most resources or technical know-how can participate.
Right. That's an important consideration. And there are also concerns about, you know, privacy, security, and moderation in these virtual worlds.
For sure. It's essential to create safe and secure environments
Yeah.
where players can interact, without fear of harassment, exploitation, or theft. And as these metaverse platforms grow, we need to develop effective moderation strategies to combat toxicity and ensure a positive user experience for everyone.
It sounds like a lot of these challenges are similar to what we already see in online communities today, but just amplified on a much larger scale.
That's a good point, and it really highlights the need for, thoughtful planning and collaboration as we move forward into this uncharted territory.
Okay, so this is a lot to absorb. It's clear that both cross-game interoperability and metaverse integration present these incredible opportunities for the future of gaming, but there are also some, really complex challenges that need to be addressed.
It's a very dynamic and evolving landscape,
Hmm.
and it's exciting to see how developers like those behind GoTapper are pushing the boundaries and really shaping the future of this industry.
So where do we go from here? What are the next steps for GoatTapper and for blockchain gaming as a whole?
Well, from what we've gathered, GoTapper is actively working on developing the technology and the partnerships they need to really realize their vision for this cross-game interoperability and metaverse integration.
Yeah, it sounds like they're really committed to, kind of pushing those boundaries. But it's not just about the tech, is it? I mean, there's the whole community aspect as well.
Well, absolutely. Building a strong and engaged community is so crucial for any game, but it's especially important, this whole blockchain gaming world.
Yeah. Why is that? What makes communities so vital in this space?
Well, I think one reason is because, blockchain gaming is still relatively new. It's still kind of complex in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So having that supportive community where players can learn from each other, share strategies, and get help, navigating all the technical aspects can be incredibly valuable.
Yeah, it's like having a network of mentors and collaborators who are all invested in helping each other succeed.
Exactly. And a strong community, also helps to drive adoption and create this sense of ownership and belonging. When players feel like they're part of something bigger, they're more likely to stay engaged, invest in the game's ecosystem, and really advocate for its success.
Right. It's like the difference between just playing a game and being part of a movement.
Yeah, exactly. And from what we've seen, GoTapper seems to be doing a really great job on that front. They're actively engaging with their community through social media, online forums, and even in-game events.
So it sounds like they're really fostering that sense of shared ownership and collaboration. That's impressive. But, let's be realistic for a second. No new technology is without its challenges, right? So what are some of the hurdles that GoatTapper and the whole blockchain gaming space in general might face moving forward?
Well, I think one of the biggest challenges is scalability. As blockchain gaming, becomes more mainstream and attracts millions of players, Those underlying blockchain networks really need to be able to handle that increased transaction volume.
Right, because if you have, thousands or even millions of players all buying, selling, and trading assets on the blockchain, that could create a lot of congestion and really slow things down.
Exactly. And that could lead to delays in transactions, higher fees, and ultimately a negative impact on the player experience.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. And I imagine there are also some, regulatory challenges to consider as governments around the world try to figure out how to classify and regulate cryptocurrencies and blockchain tech.
Oh, absolutely. The regulatory landscape is still evolving, and this uncertainty, it can make it difficult for developers to plan for the long term, and it could even create barriers for players in certain regions.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a bit of a wild west out there right now. But hopefully things will start to become a bit clearer as the tech matures and regulations catch up. So, despite all these challenges, are there any developments that have you feeling optimistic about the future of blockchain gaming?
Oh yeah, there are a few things that make me feel really positive. One is the continuous development of blockchain technology itself. We're seeing new platforms and solutions emerge that are faster, more scalable, and much more user-friendly.
So, those scalability issues we were just talking about, those might actually become less of a concern as the technology improves.
That's the hope. And as the technology keeps advancing, it just opens up so many more possibilities for innovative gameplay, complex economies, and that seamless integration with other technologies like the metaverse.
That's exciting. Anything else giving you that optimism?
Yeah, I'd say the growing interest and investment from major players. In the tech and gaming industries is a really good sign. We're seeing companies like Microsoft, Ubisoft, even Facebook, all starting to explore the potential of blockchain gaming.
So it's not just small startups anymore. We're talking about the big players taking notice.
Exactly. And that, influx of resources and expertise, and really just mainstream attention. It's likely to accelerate innovation and adoption in the space.
It sounds like, blockchain gaming is kind of at this tipping point. We've seen the potential, we've talked about the challenges, but there's a real sense that, this tech is here to stay. And it could really fundamentally change how we think about gaming.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair assessment. And games like Go Capper are leading the charge,
Mm-hmm.
showcasing the possibilities and pushing the boundaries of what's achievable.
Just this has been a really eye-opening deep dive. We've learned so much about the evolution of gaming economies, explored the unique features of Goat Tapper, and really just delved into the, game-changing potential of the play-to-earn model, cross-game interoperability, and metaverse integration.
Yeah, and we've also, discussed those challenges and opportunities that lie ahead for blockchain gaming. It's a complex and, rapidly evolving landscape for sure,
Mm.
but one that holds such immense promise for the future of entertainment, technology, and even, how we interact with each other online.
So what does all of this mean for our listeners? What's the big takeaway from this deep dive into Goat Tapper and this whole world of blockchain gaming?
I think the most important thing to remember is that this is a space that's worth paying attention to. Whether you're a gamer, a tech enthusiast, or just someone who's curious about the future of digital interaction, blockchain gaming has the potential to impact all of us.
Yeah, it's not just about playing games anymore. It's about exploring new possibilities, challenging conventional thinking, and really being a part of this movement that's